Take a swig.
It's almost that time.
Yeah, man, the Swig podcast,
Yeah,
man.
we gotta tune in.
Hey, man, let me grab this beer right quick, man.
Yeah, let me get my drink ready.
Yeah, man, oh, shoot, man, they be talking about all types of on it, man. The lagers, the man.
There's some beers I ain't never even heard of on there.
We about to learn about them, though, shoot.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
What's up, world? It's your boy, the Bearded Brother.
And Shani Hadia, the marvelous gift in the building. What up, good people? Y'all sipping okay today?
How y'all feeling? You drinking well?
We drinking pretty good today.
Wonderful. Anytime I can drink beer, it's always a good day.
Listen, and we got a decent amount of beer today.
Yes.
We had a little pre-production meeting and we cracked open 2 of them already. And now we have a decent little lineup of beers.
Bring you a quality episode.
Yeah. By the end of this episode, I'm not sure how good of a quality it will be because I've been drinking all day.
So you're going to find out as we find out. So
yeah, I've definitely been Sunday sipping. So everybody like, okay, but what are y'all drinking? Y'all got a whole lot of beer, but what are y'all drinking? Well,
let us tell you.
If you follow us on IG.
Within 13 miles.
Okay, Google. Anyway, just rude. Just want to be in the conversation.
So if you've been following us on IG, you might have saw my post yesterday with my cool ass shades on. And now you know, my cool ass black Abbey shades with the Jameson hat. Well,
this green is kind of fire. It's like a dark forest green.
I think we might have to get a finish a photo when we're done.
I think so.
You wear the hat, I'll rock the glasses, and the beer is just gonna be empty.
But enjoyed. That's the main part.
But enjoyed. So, Rhizomes, a production company here in Nashville that puts on some awesome festivals.
They specialize in beer festivals, or they just do festivals in general?
Beer festivals.
Okay.
Well, no. They do other festivals because they did the Rosé Festival.
Yes.
So, yeah. But, pandemic hit, had to pivot a little bit. So, they've been doing Rise Homes. I don't know. They have like a H in parentheses. And it's like Rhizomes, but homes.
Quote unquote homes.
But it's
I like it.
It's yeah. It was a cute little play on words. They do virtual events, and they definitely brought a banger this last time. So we met with them 2 weeks ago now, almost
somewhere
just over a weekend and some change, and just to talk ideas for their festivals and diversity and all that good stuff. But one of the cool things is they invited us to participate in their St. Patty's Day event. So that was really fun. Unfortunately, we couldn't make the live event on Saturday, but we wanted to get together, drink all of the goddamn alcohol that they provided us.
Yes. this is one hell of a care package.
Yeah. Drink all of that and also watch the video and just kind of experience the event. Though we weren't live with it, it's definitely been fun thus far.
Yeah.
And of course, like Kramer said, anytime we get to drink, that's
right. It's hard to not have a good day.
Yeah. And so, what did we start out with?
In the pre-production?
Yeah, the pre-production.
We started with the 44. Some OGs of Black Abbey like to call it the POTUS. It's a coffee porter. And it's like one of my favorite brews they make, flagship or otherwise.
Yeah, toffee and coffee, substantial, dark, and complex. It begins with us. So, yeah, the 44 was a nice start. And so we said, of course, this was a Black Abbey and Jameson collab. So Jameson, the whiskey, we also had a bottle of that.
And the cold brew, which goes really well with this 44, but do pour
Be mindful.
Mindful. There we go.
Be mindful of your pours.
Yes.
Because that's how we started off. We started off with the 44, and we poured the cold brew in. The first glass was, we're doing little tasters for that one. So the first glass was nice. The second one, we had a little less beer and a little more cold brew, and we definitely felt the liquor on that one.
You definitely got to pour on your preference. If you want more beer, pour lightly on the cold brew, and vice versa. If you want more of the cold brew but a little bit of the beer, you know what to do.
Yeah. So then they gave us the Tennessee IPA.
Yes.
That was our next beer. For that one, we had some of the cheese with it.
Yes, and it definitely brought out flavors that I didn't taste before.
Yeah.
Like the pineapple. Did not taste that ever.
Okay, yeah. So we're watching a video, and we've had Tennessee IPA. We enjoy Tennessee IPA, but we call it a beer drinker's IPA. Like, no frills, nothing fancy or anything. And that's perfectly fine. But so when Isaiah was going over the flavor profile, Kramer and I looked at each other and was like, well, I don't remember none of that.
Pineapple passion?
Yeah.
What?
And you got to think about it, probably because we don't remember it because it's not a juice bomb.
Yeah.
It's very American IPA standard, and so those flavors come more subtly.
Or we're used to them. Like,
well, I think I haven't had the Tennessee IPA in a while. So when you mention the IPA, I'm thinking about the one I had earlier today that was just, hella Citra, just it hit you, and that it's orange, or that you're getting some tropical flavors, but the Tennessee IPA one, it's a little more subtle, a little more you get just more of the hops, but not necessarily, I don't know, not necessarily the flavors they weren't pronounced. Because it's not they were in the boil and they weren't dry hopped.
No. And it's like pretty low key hops, like whole melon, and I forget the other one they mentioned.
Right. So we say all that to say, when he said it, we both looked at each other and was like, huh. So we poured up the Tennessee IPA. We tasted it initially. We're like, okay, we see some, I think we got more like papaya.
Yeah.
On that first one that he mentioned. Yeah. But then when we had the cheese, and this was a Kulia Farmhouse cheese. It is out of Ireland. I just looked it up because it was a very good cheese.
It was delicious.
That thing was delicious. And it's sharp. It's sharp when you first eat it, but then the flavor melts into your mouth and just becomes kind of this creamy, rich, slightly pungent, but like on a cool scale, not anything like a blue cheese or anything like that.
Nothing stinky at all.
Yeah. And so
you got a nice little crunch I like with it.
Yeah. We had that one, and then we tried the beer, and that pineapple came through with that one.
Came strong.
Like, oh, that was good. That was good.
So I'm gonna have to remember that. I gotta get a cheese like that if I want to drink an IPA.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It definitely makes you want to pair some cheeses and see, because we also had the blue cheese.
I feel like the blue cheese for me brought out more of that pineapple tropical flavor. I don't know why, but as soon as I ate
you're right. It was the blue cheese.
I was like, oh, so that's definitely something I want to look up after this recording to see why that might have happened. Yeah,
the first cheese, it made it just smoother. It was like it took the edge off of the IPA.
Mm-hmm.
And so
mellowed it out.
Yeah, you still got melon notes, but when we had that blue cheese, that funk, it came through, and that's when that pineapple showed up, and we were like, wow, okay, we taste it. So it's fun when people mention a flavor of beer and you don't necessarily think of it. Now, had we just sipped the beer and we said, well, what are we getting from it? We probably, could have come up with some of the notes. I got some of the peach that Isaiah said Carl typically gets. It was very much on the finish. Very much on the finish, like my third swallow after a sip. You know, just
I tried to taste for it, but I was like, I just couldn't catch it.
Yeah. That's a dope thing. Everybody's a little different.
Kind of tempted to pour the last little bit of my Jameson in this.
Ooh.
See, just to see, you know.
I'm going to pour it in this one because I have just a little bit more. Yeah. So we are actually drinking you know what? We're drinking the Irish Coffee Brown Ale.
From Black Abbey. And
all of the beers are Black Abbey.
Yeah, this one is, like, I was excited about when they dropped the post about it. It's in collaborations with District Coffee, which is a local coffee shop right down the street, actually, from the brewery on that side of town. So it was just like a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Right down the street. So it's just a couple steps across the street, get you what you need, and make something really good. So, and I've heard good things about District Coffee. I just haven't had it myself. And I'm not going to lie, that little bit of, I just had like the smallest swig, no pun intended, of Jameson in it. And I could taste it a little bit. It's good. And I need just a little more taste of the Jameson, if you don't mind passing it to me.
Yeah, it's definitely good. You can pour that in there. I was thinking about this cold brew that we have and putting it in the rest of the.
I wish we had more. Should held on to it.
Yeah, that's a nice combo right there. And Jameson really sets that off.
Oh yes, okay.
And I feel like I put a decent amount.
This is good. This is like very like light, smooth, easy, and like approachable to drink. It's nothing overbearing beer or whiskey wise. It's just like boom, you taste both, but it's not like they're not overpowering each other.
I feel like it will definitely sneak up on you.
1,000%.
And it's very much acceptable for the morning time. Listen, yes. I'm a beer drinker, so you can give me an IPA in the morning and call it orange juice.
That's me with stouts.
You know what I'm saying? Like we can make anything. You know, this Belgian triple has grape notes.
Oh, okay, you can eat grapes in the
juice.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a great fruit tray for the morning.
Yeah.
Grapes. Fine. Coffee stout. It's coffee.
Yeah.
It's a cup of joe.
This is plum. Okay, yeah, I like fruit in the morning. You know, so it don't take much for me to come up with an excuse to have beer. But the coffee flavor is just, you know, it's very cold brew. And you know, you can get away with this at your desk.
Oh, most definitely.
At your virtual desk, at your home desk. Don't be at work trying to sip this shit. We are not responsible.
And don't go do your Zoom meetings with this. Just casually drinking it. Just get through the meeting first.
No, they can casually drink it. Just have it in a mug. In a coffee cup, not like a beer mug, guys. Coffee cup.
Coffee mug. Right. Coffee mug.
But this this Irish Coffee Brown Ale, it's easy to drink, man.
Yeah, I almost like coffee in my brown ale better than like a coffee stout or porter because the approachability. I like this was just smooth and it didn't hit you. Sometimes with a stout or a porter, even coming from a stout drink, it can be like, ooh, yeah, that is coffee.
Yeah, you know what?
That's coffee in there.
That I'm glad you say that because it is not giving me heavy coffee. It's not giving me black coffee vibes. It's giving me a little cream in my coffee.
Ah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Taking it like no lactose in it, but it's like that edge is gone.
That malt profile gives that like
a little sweeter.
Lactose, yeah, sweetness to it.
Yeah, a little sweeter. So
that's just stevia, I guess.
I'm totally here for it. So, what do you have plans for St. Patrick's Day? Because again, this was all related to Rhizome's St. Patrick's Day event. Yeah. And you'll be listening to this and St. Patrick's Day has happened.
Or so happening.
our plans have. We might have plans, but if we don't come through with them, like sometimes we start drinking too early and we don't make
Things
it.
happen, right? I don't have any strict plans. Honestly, I'm probably gonna just look on social media.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, we're doing this beer thing at a place that you really love to hang and drink beer at. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go there.
It makes sense.
Like, I'm just gonna just play as it comes along. That's usually what I do on most St. Patrick's days. Especially if it's on the weekend. That's like the perfect time to be like, all right, well, what the hell is going on today?
Man, St. Patrick's Day on the weekend is...
And that's going to be like that next year because it's Thursday this year, so...
Is it Thursday?
Oh, yeah.
No, I thought it was Wednesday.
Wednesday it is. It is
Yeah.
Wednesday.
So we got 2 more years before it ends up being on the weekend. But when it is on the weekend, it is definitely a turn up. I used to go to in Atlanta. There were like pub crawls and such.
Yep.
And I love a good drinking holiday.
Oh yeah,
Me
too. Any excuse to get some alcohol in me, without judgment.
Yeah, I love a good drinking
I'm
holiday.
there.
So I would go and I drank the whole green beer.
Yeah, just.
That's a really interesting experience the next morning, especially when you forget that you drink green beer and you
That's
like
a little sketchy.
Yeah, you like, what in the hell is going on in my insides?
Am I not? Is this death?
Right. So I had the the Irish car bombs and like I said, the green beer. Yeah, and that thing is definitely weird because if you don't drink it immediately, it curdles.
And you're into a horrible night. I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
It's gross.
I've seen it come back up way too many times.
It is gross.
I did a lot of partying in my younger days.
Yeah.
And I did Irish car bombs when it wasn't St. Patty's Day. So
Right.
But they're one of the things that I've never been big on Guinness or Irish whiskey. And I really only drink it on that holiday. If somebody bring it, I'm going to end up, partaking.
Right. I'm going to have a drink with it for sure.
Yeah. If you want to come on, August the 3rd and bring me some Irish whiskey and some, the car bombs, then I'm going to do them.
Yeah.
If it's a turn up, you know what I'm saying? That's how I end up doing them before. But
I'm in there like swimwear. But
it's nothing that I'm looking for. I don't wake up and be like, I think I want an Irish car bomb today.
Yeah, I was like, I just need an Irish drink today. No disrespect, but it's just not something I think about too much.
But this is opening my eyes to possibilities.
Yes, I'm open-minded. I just don't think about it, but I am open-minded.
I think like in my mind, my experience with, or in college, my experience with Irish whiskey, my palate wasn't as defined or refined.
Yeah.
And now I'm more appreciative of it. I can't really say it's still my, it's not my favorite per se.
Irish whiskey if you want your feelings hurt the next day in college.
Yeah.
Like you didn't go to appreciate Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
Or Irish, inspired drink. Like, you're going to get hammered. You know you're going to get smashed. Whatever you want to call it. That's what you went and got it for. Now that you're older, you're like, okay, I can have this after a long day and just sip on it, and I'm still going to get what I need. I need my problems to disappear with each passing sip. And that's what you get with these with Irish whiskey, like now that you're older a little bit.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's definitely something that I'm gonna just go ahead and pour out the rest of that cold brew in there. We'll see if I regret that. I'm gonna put it to the side.
Mine.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it to the side so we can open up the next one.
What are we opening up next?
Well, this is the Tinterberry. It's a Schwartz beer. The homie Alicia.
Yes.
The
fellow Belmont Brewing.
She's a female brewer at Black Abbey. She this is her first production beer. where it's going in the stores. Yeah, it's going in the stores. I already had it at Craft Brew, so I already know it's good.
I've been meaning to get it, and I'm going to get like the 4-pack separately soon.
Yeah, this is good money though. I don't know, not pleasantly surprised. I was just like pleasantly excited. I don't know.
I got what you're trying to say.
Because I know she make good beer, and she has Black Abbott make good beers. I was impressed.
There we go.
It was just it was good. And I guess you know what I would kind of use pleasantly surprised because
honey
but it was.
Here? Sorry.
I don't know.
Because I get a very like heavy honey aroma.
It probably is just the it's a lager style beer.
Oh yeah, so
it's probably the German malts that's kind of giving it that sweetness. But I don't know if I like Schwartz beers.
Oh.
Or at least at that time. So when I had it, I was like, oh, this shit actually ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying?
I like a good Schwartz beer. So.
Now I'm like, okay, maybe I like a good Schwartz beer.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy that. And I enjoy Black Abbott because they take really great responsibility in their names. They try to not step out of their boundaries when it comes to appropriation or anything like that. You were mentioning car bombs and things like that. Like, how is cultural appropriation viewed in other, I guess, cultures? Like, how do you, like, I know Sarah mentioned it in the...
Well, Sarah in the episode, she said that Irish people aren't that sensitive, and that they don't care if you call it, they don't care about St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
Now they did say, calling it an Irish car bomb. She made the comment of like, would I come to the U.S. and say, can I get a 9/11? It was one of those, when she said that, I was like, oh, shit.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? That is a terrorist act, the car bombs, like a domestic terrorist maybe.
Right.
But it is a terroristic act. And I don't think they like black and tans.
No, they don't.
So they don't want you to disrespect their alcohol. You could definitely disrespect their culture, but not the...
But is that their culture, the alcohol? So it's like, what line are you walking here?
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, the whole appropriation thing is concerning in general. When I partake in these drinking holidays, specifically like Cinco de Mayo and St. Patrick's Day.
Like that.
Yeah. So I like... Back in the day, I used to wear a sombrero. I would do like a little mustache. And,
right.
For the whole Cinco de Mayo thing.
The draping, like, not jacket.
Yeah, I'm not even going to pretend like I know what the name of that is.
I know what it is.
Google it while we're here. Yeah. But I know what you're talking about. Poncho.
There you go.
I think that's what it is.
If it's not, please correct us in our comments.
Right. And... when I understood that was appropriation and that was disrespectful, I stopped doing that part.
Right.
But I will still go and get me some margaritas.
Yeah. I'm there. Tequila shots, margaritas. Not as many tequila shots as I used to hung up that part of my life up in the rafters and just look at it fondly every now and then. Right. I was like,
so
I
even with
this.
Yeah, even with St. Patrick's Day, like I'm not doing the whole dress up as a leprechaun type shit. I
might wear a little green, because it looks good on me. But,
I can see the wearing the green, and again, for me, and this, please, I'm very open to education. I don't see a problem with celebrating and enjoying the holiday, but I don't want to like make a mockery of their culture.
I'm not the exact same way. Like, I definitely want, maybe it's a good time for me to like learn like on those holidays about like, why are these even a thing?
Why is it a holiday?
Yeah.
Right?
Like, in America, and like, really understand it, then maybe that would continue to further change my viewpoint of the holiday and give it more appreciation that I would give, or some black families would give, like Kwanzaa or something. Like, they have that level of appreciation. I can gain that through just reading and using that good old search engine we like to call Google.
I'm willing to really make any holiday a drinking holiday.
Yeah, like,
I mean,
if y'all free Arbor Day, holler at your boy.
Pour one out for the tree, pour one out for me.
the trees, baby.
And so I hear what Sarah was saying as far as like they're tough skinned or whatever, but I think it's just it's not anything that I just want to contribute to. Right.
And I think it's just like a level of not sensitivity, it's like a level of like pride and like protection of your culture. Like, if it gets watered down too much, people that engage with the culture might not take it as seriously or don't appreciate it the way they should appreciate it. Mm-hmm. But I definitely think, like, if you want to pay homage, that's fine. Like, paying homage is cool. This is when you start using it for your advantage or you disrespect it at any kind of level.
Well, when you take things that have been attributed to their culture and make a mockery of it. Yeah. And, I haven't learned if how leprechauns came to be associated with Ireland. The most I can, now I feel like I want to look that up, but I don't know how it came to be. And because I don't know that, and I haven't took that time to learn that, it's not my place to represent it. Exactly. It's like, because if I'm going to represent it, I need to represent it in the way that it needs to be represented, and it should be represented, and not in the way that I like that makes it comical and cartoon like.
That's very real. I think that's like where we disagree with Sarah. I think overall, as a sentiment for us, it's just like, you still got to protect the culture somewhat. Like, don't let people water it down. So when they come to Ireland, it's not just like, whatever.
That's real, because if you allow people to water down your culture and just make a mockery of it and just treat it how they feel like it should be treated, it's no longer going to be your culture. Exactly. That's why Black people protect Black culture so much. And, I don't know, and I'm not going to say that like Sarah was hinting at this by any means, but if you compare, her feelings versus like what I as a Black person feel, I am very protective, and I'm going to end up shutting some shit down. If you walking around here in kente cloth and you don't have any business walking around here in kente cloth, I'm going to say something. No, because I want to protect the culture.
No, I definitely agree, and I'm along that as well. Especially if you don't know the story behind it and how it moves this culture forward, you shouldn't be wearing it just to get that culture to pay attention to you. If you don't respect it, you don't treat it right. Like, no, don't use it as a marketing tool to reach whatever diversity quota it is. Whether you need to hire 5 more Black folk, like you need 3 Black folk on your committee, employee, or anything like that. Don't use it for that. Like, use it like, if you appreciate it, love it, understand the history behind it, and you can explain why you appreciate it and what this means. And I think,
no doubt.
And I think like Black people are protective of our culture because it's like our culture permeates everything.
Listen.
Like, it permeates
we are the
music. It permeates beer, with beer starting in Mesopotamia and Egypt and getting moved out, and now the epicenter's in Europe. Like, things, we gotta protect it because we're going to lose it. We're so much used to being
We've
losing
been erased.
things. Yeah.
Our history, our culture has been erased. And so, another thing that, the Irish, they pretty much know where they've come from.
Yeah.
So you probably can allow more stuff because you know where where your heart is, so to speak. And with Black people, I think we lose a bit of that. But I don't want to go too deep. Just because this could be a whole.
I don't want to put my woke hat on right now.
I mean, I think we always have the woke hat cocked ace deuce like T.I. Just sitting right on the tip on the brim. But
we don't want to activate it.
Yeah, but I don't want to. That's not what this part is. I do have the concern of appropriation when it comes to drinking holidays, and so that's going to be how I'm going to try my best to respect it. Some people say you don't celebrate them, but it's hard for me to be like, well, the Mexican restaurant is doing a deal and margaritas and is lit over there. Why not do it? And or the Irish pub is turning up for St. Patty's Day. I'm like, damn, they having fun. I just want to go have fun. So
there's definitely levels to it for sure.
Yeah. It's like I can go have fun as myself and not represent the culture, but experience
the culture.
The culture.
Why is it this fun?
Yeah, and not come in there and make fun of it. So
you come in for scientific reasons. I think that's your excuse.
So what is your favorite drinking holiday? I could just extend it a little bit and say like holiday that you drink on.
Right. I actually genuinely love this. I want to give me a chance to explain this.
Okay.
I like July 4th.
Okay.
Not for what it represents. It's just a good time. It's warm outside. You with your people, with your tribe, hanging out, drinking, eating good food, talking shit, roasting each other,
okay,
and just that's for me when it comes, it's a more commercial side for July 4th, that I enjoy versus the actual historical. Fuck the historical part, but July 4th are coming together, barbecuing, hanging out, electric sliding.
And I think for me,
screaming with Frankie Beverly,
right,
when it comes on.
I think for me, that's Memorial Day weekend.
That's real.
Because that is the start of summer. That's okay, we are,
grilling season high.
We here now. We definitely have made it, So that is where I would.
That's real.
That's probably one of my favorites. But I think honestly, Cinco de Mayo, because I love Mexican food. And
Cinco de Mayo is just I feel like that's understood. It's on a level of its own. I don't think you need to talk about it because everybody's you're going to say Cinco de Mayo. You're going to say Cinco de Mayo.
Listen, Cinco de Mayo has been it and lit because, most of my experiences have been in Atlanta. Here in Nashville, we go and celebrate Cinco de Mayo. But it's not the same as to what I'm gonna express real quick. Now, the space on the name of the restaurant is Cinco de Mayo. I'm like, what? But yeah, Cinco de Mayo up there on Bell Road. Mm-hmm. There's always a turn up on Cinco de Mayo. It's thick. People are there. It's a good time. But in Atlanta, there was a Mexican restaurant that would turn the parking lot into an area. They bring out tables and rope it off, and they extended their reach or their service area, if you will. Mm-hmm. And so we'd come and you get drinks and you have a wristband and you. I don't even know. Vibe. Oh yeah, it was a vibe. I don't even know if I drank in that. I mean, I drank. I don't even know if I ate. Some days some days I went a couple of years, but sometimes I think in the beginning we were able to sit down, order, but once it got thick, there was at this point there was only drinking, And it was so much fun. It was almost like a reunion for like a lot of Georgia Southern folks, because we would all come and hang together, and then you would see just all the people that you have hung with. And like that was like that one time a year where you like, hey, and because the food is so scarce, you might end up sharing nachos with some random person. Be like, you want some of these nachos? It's like you look a little drunk. Right. That cheese ain't get hard yet.
Right.
Can I have some of that?
It's still dripping. Let me get a little something. An underrated holiday, because it closes out in the summer. Yeah. It brings in fall, Labor Day. Yeah. Labor Day is like your last hurrah into essentially what should be grilling. Yeah. It's like that's your last like grilling weekend.
The pool closed that weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
so
you gotta get everything on the grill now. Like
you go out with a bang on that weekend. You go out with a bang, and it's a great time. I also love that weather usually around Labor Day. Mm-hmm. It's like it's nice and warm, but it also have like a cooler breeze. Cool, because like fall coming
crispiness.
in.
Because like around like 6 p.m. and like wind start breathing a little bit.
It's like you don't necessarily need a jacket, but you could have one on, but it of course it depends on where you're at. We're talking about more of the South. Yes. The South definitely makes a difference. Man, you finishing up your Tinterberry?
I am.
This is
what's the ABV on that?
The ABV is not listed.
Oh, just Alicia, you just want to be secret. Oh, it's 5.8.
Oh shit, okay.
I was like, you just trying to be secretive?
That's
Alicia?
where the drink's starting to kick in a little bit. 5.8. Darkness reigns in the ancient lager beer style. Hints of roast, noble hop bitterness, and crisp German malts make for a delightfully smooth dark lager.
That's probably where the honey comes from in this.
The German malts?
Yeah. Because I definitely, like, it hasn't wavered. Like, I get a very, like, honey crisp kind of.
Honey crisp like the cereal?
Yeah. Nothing. It's not like actual honey, but it's like honey adjacent, if that makes sense.
It's I think I know what you're talking about. I will probably give that more of I guess it could be honey. You know like a maple, but it's not maple. I'm trying to think of like a nice syrupy sweetness. But I can see why you're going for honey. It's just a little richer for me. Yeah. Then it's even I don't know if it's yeah,
like sweetness to it. Like it's not like super sweet, but like.
No man, I think you hitting the nail on the head when you said like that pecan. It's like that. It's nutty roastiness. Yeah. It's real easy on your tongue. So, and I like those. It makes me want to try that pecan pie stout though. Yes. Bruh, I really gotta get there. I gotta get there to try this one, because
I gotta try that with some Adam's barbecue.
Oh yeah. And
I haven't tried to plug them, but I'm gonna plug them.
I said pecan pie stout, didn't I? Did I say that?
You did. I think
it's a porter.
Porter, yes.
Yeah, it's a porter. And the reason stout rolled off my tongue so easy is because I was first introduced to a pecan pie stout from Crowns and Hops.
Shout out.
Yeah, we talked about that one, and that thing just being like hella smooth, and I was very surprised by it. And then Crazy Gnome, they got a pecan pie stout.
Did we ever figure out which one was made with lactose or not?
You know what? I don't know.
We're gonna find that out.
Yeah. And then, so when Dave said we got a Pecan Pie Porter, I was like, of course I feel like the flavor profile is going to be a little lighter because, stouts are heavier typically. But I am interested in what this porter will taste like.
That's going to be really interesting because, like, porters to me are like, I don't want to say daintier, but, like, they're a little fluffier.
Yeah.
Stouts are like
daintier is like a perfect description for it though.
Right. I was like,
you know what I'm saying?
It is, but I was like,
it's just a little lighter, like you take a stout and then you just like
a stout's like ready to whoop your ass, punch you in the stomach out of nowhere. Yeah. But like a porter is like, it gives you like a good firm pat on the back, let you know it's there, but it's here to support you.
A porter might, might slip his foot out and trip you on a slick, but you will never know. You'd be like, damn, oh my bad, I'm sorry.
And just surprised you fell, like
the stout.
Oh my God, you fell!
Right.
Oh,
the stout just gonna push your ass over. So yeah, I get what you're going with that one. So next on the menu is Wingman Down.
Another quick rising favorite of mine at Black Abbey.
Imperial IPA.
Yes, I know that sounds so crazy. Coming from me, I'm not a huge IPA drinker, but this is well done because it's the malt in it for me.
Yeah.
Like, Shawnee had to sit me down. It's like, you like malt. That's why you...
So, yeah, what I found is with Imperial, your double IPAs, you're going to have a higher malt profile, especially when it's a West Coast.
Yeah.
When it's a West Coast style IPA. You're going to that more of that malt comes through, and that is definitely your style. I like when it's more of a dank. I like that dank flavor, that dank taste of those West Coast IPAs. So give me that hot profile that, and usually, I mean, it's really like a regular West Coast IPA, or you can go up into a triple. Yeah. Which it becomes easier to drink because that high, and it's higher ABV, but very easy to drink. But that the malt profile and the hot profile come back in balance.
Yes.
So on your West Coast IPA, your regular one, your hot profile might be a little higher. Yeah. On the double, I find that the malt profile a little higher.
Works a little bit stronger there. But for me, triples. I like triples, and I can drink triples like the triple home style from Bearded Iris.
That was good money.
That's absolutely delicious to me because even though it came out more bitter, I didn't have to go chase after the maltiness. It kind of just like, hops are taking the front seat, but malt is in the back. Like, yo, you see me. Like, we out here. Like,
I think that could be a fun episode for us to do a double or a single, double, triple IPA flight with maybe like 2 different breweries. So doing Bearded Iris and the Home Style series, and then an equivalent of such.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
That I feel like that would be a fun experiment, and for me, it would, because I'm an IPA addict, so I'm always like looking at IPAs, and to an extent, I feel like I should love every IPA, and I like a lot of them, but when it comes to that more maltier profile, they actually become less. Now, I enjoy this one a little more because it's drier.
Gotcha, yeah. But like talking about like you should like every style, everything in your style that you prefer the most. I'm like that with stouts. I'm not the hugest fan of like heavily hop stouts.
Okay.
Like, yeah. I appreciate them. I'm like, I know why this is good, but I'm like, no, I would kind of want the strength, I want the malt, I want the sweetness a little, persevere a little bit more. If it's like dry hop or like has a little tinge of it, I'm cool with that. But it was like, okay, this is a stout, but it's like, I taste the chocolate, but oh shit, I taste a lot of Simcoe and Amarillo hops in it.
Okay.
It gets a 7 instead of an 8 out of 10.
Right.
Something like that. Like, I want the chocolate, I want the sweetness, I want sometimes even the fluffiness. Whatever I feel like, if I read the description, I want
whatever
more
you feel like,
sweeter.
Yeah.
And then if it says dry hop, I want that to be like, oh, it exists, but I don't want it to be a main character.
I get you.
So
I get you. You want to have that profile, but you don't necessarily want it to be overwhelming. And
exactly,
because you still want it to be like the stouts that but like you can play around. I got a little gray area on the stout area that I like.
I'm open minded, but like don't go overboard with my open-mindedness.
Yeah.
That's like...
Yeah, I need a good West Coast IPA, and it's not so much, I mean, that they don't exist. It just, I haven't, well, in the wintertime, they don't exist as much.
Oh, no.
You're going to get your maltier IPAs during the wintertime. But in the summer, when those dank IPAs, where, you know, they hover at about 7%.
Yeah.
And IPA land, that's crushable.
And I can rock with those when it's warmer outside. Like, I have a greater respect. I'm like, it's still not my go-to, but I'm like, it's 90 degrees outside. It's hot, and this thing is crisp.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Like, this is good. Like, this wouldn't be on a constant rotation in my fridge or anything like that, but like, time I brought to a bottle share or brought me a couple of cans or bottles of something. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I appreciate this. I'm not a huge IPA drinker, but I'll get into this.
Did I read this is 8%, and this one brewed in the spirit of classic West Coast Imperial IPAs, big hop aroma and flavor, bold bitterness balanced with liberal amounts of malt sweetness, keep cold, drink fresh.
Yeah, like I definitely get the West Coast vibe from it.
Oh yeah,
you get the hop burn without the hop burn, if that makes sense.
They achieved, I mean, based on that description, they achieved what they were going for. Mm-hmm. And it's actually, I mean, it's pretty tasty. Even though, and it does have a malty sweetness, but because the beer, there's like a drier finish and not like a sweeter finish for me, it makes it more enjoyable. And brings it like, okay, this is the kind of IPA I fucks with. So, you know, Black Abbey has really been impressing me with their beers. I'm not gonna lie, there was one point where like this was a little earlier in my beer journey, I will say. But I wasn't a big fan of their beers. And I'm gonna go with part of it is I didn't understand what I was drinking.
Oh, that's 1,000% for me.
Yeah. And when you understand that, like, they don't always brew beers in the style, my preferred style, but they brew good beer. Yes. And so if I'm going here and I'm going to Black Abbey and I want to venture out a little bit, I know I can go there and I'm going to get good beer, you know, either true to style or acknowledge that it is a play on.
Yeah, or it has some sort of like thing that you do like in your beers traditionally. Yeah. Like, oh, okay, like I still get the hoppiness. Cool. It's not really my style because it's a Schwartz beer, but like I get the hoppiness, so like I appreciate it. Yeah. Versus like for me, like with like a porter or anything like that, I like a little sweetness, a little coffeeness and coffeeness, a little bit of coffee in it, but like with porters, it gives me a nice gentle ride down like that beer strain, and I'm okay with that. And yeah. That's what I get with like the 44 or the POTUS, whatever you want to call it. That's what I get, and that's why I appreciate about it. All their beers, I never really had like an overbearing beer where like I taste like something like 10 times more than any other part of that profile. Mm-hmm. So they always make something really good that way. And that's the same thing with me. Like Gray Man came out with an IPA. Yeah. And I drank it I was somewhere here in Nashville and I had it for the first time. And I thought it was terrible. Okay. I can go back to it. I'm like, it wasn't terrible. I just didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't understand why it tasted like this. I'm like, why does this hurt? Yeah. Like, this is gross. But now I think about it, I'm like, it was brewed well. It wasn't gross. It just wasn't my style, but like it was good. I can like kind of think back on it because it was a low key traumatic moment. Like,
I can understand that if you have a beer and the style doesn't or like your first interaction with that beer is off-putting, then it's hard to jump back in. Right. That happened with me with saisons. Mm-hmm. I had a couple saisons and I didn't know the profile of saisons. It was just like I'm getting a flight. They might have had a higher ABV, which is likely like why I chose it.
More than likely.
And so when it comes in a flight, I'm like, oh, I don't care for this. So in my head, oh, I don't like saisons. But there's a spectrum of saisons. Just like there's a spectrum of IPAs, there's a spectrum, and you have to just identify where on the spectrum you fall. And it's easier to find that equivalent once you say, oh, okay, I like Farmhouse saisons, or I like more floral, saisons, like Belgian saisons, yeah. So you have to figure out where you're gonna fall on things, and like I will say, like speaking of falling, we've had like a good amount of beer.
Yes,
and
a lot of beer fell this episode.
Yeah, this was
a record almost.
Yeah.
Amongst just us two.
Yeah. Jeff, y'all put together, with Rhizomes, y'all put together a great event. And we've enjoyed the video. We hate that, of course, we missed it live, but we wanted to make sure we gave props. And Black Abbey, the beers.
Keep doing what you're doing. Don't change your ways.
Yeah.
Yeah,
y'all are definitely on point. The dopest part of all of it, though, is we are brewing an anniversary beer.
Yes. With
Black Abbey for the Swig's 1 year anniversary. So that'll be dropping in April. Y'all absolutely need to keep up with it on our social media. We'll be brewing soon and capturing, our experience.
Fun shit.
What are we making?
Making a black IPA, people.
Yes. So, black IPA. We got the Stout Man here. We got the IPA Addict here. It just made sense for us to kind of combine those two
roastiness,
efforts.
Hoppiness. What a better combination.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Let's be real.
It's gonna be a great experience, and we've worked with Ben, the brewer, to kind of put a recipe together. We're gonna do a little research to figure out like the last little bit of hops that we'll be using. But it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be tasty, and more information will come because we'll have a whole release at Black Abbey and turn up a little bit.
Yeah,
turn up a little bit.
You're gonna hear from us real soon.
So y'all follow us on social media at the Swig Podcast. You can find us on IG and Facebook. You can find me at the Black Beer Experience.
You find me at the Bearded Brother.
And we're gonna actually head over to IG and go live for a bit because we have one more beer and we have a little bit more shit to get off our chests. So y'all be easy. Drink up. We love y'all. Peace.
Bye.
Lift your glass to the Swig Podcast and keep toasting.
Take a swig.